I'm Gary Franchi, Chief White House Correspondent for the Next News Network, bringing you everything out of the White House over the last 24 hours, streaming with our partners at Trump Daily Post. And today, President Trump took a pen to a map. Lake Ontario is now Lake America. He also teed up tariffs on Canadian cars, sent Caroline Leavitt out on her final day at the podium, and flew to Houston with a Texas scorecard that reads like a victory lap. So let's walk the day. According to the daily guidance, the president opened with executive time at 8 a.m. He closed policy meeting in the Oval at 10:30, signing time at 1:30, and wheels up for Houston and a Republican National Committee engagement at 6 p.m. local, also closed press. From the in-town pool, reporters checked in at 10:45 and noted the Marine Guard was not posted outside the West Wing. By 11:35, the Marine was standing at the Oval door, and the White House called a lunch lid until 12:30. At 1:05, the pool gathered at the press room doors. 15 minutes later, they were inside. President Trump was at the Resolute Desk with Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, Trade Representative Jamieson, Greer, and Stephen Miller. Then came the signing. President Trump renamed Lake Ontario as Lake America. Interior and the U.S. Board on Geographic Names have 30 days to scrub it through every federal system, maps, contracts, the GNIS database. The maps in the Oval red, making the Great Lakes even greater. Ottawa rejected it within the hour. Effective immediately, that's what the president wrote. At 1:24, he took questions. He announced tariffs coming on Canadian cars, and his reason was blunt: Canada has treated the United States badly. On Senator Ted Cruz in 2028, he called him talented and said he might run. He said Vladimir Putin will not attack NATO territory. He said the U.S. has offered to help Nepal after a brutal event there. On Iran, he said the country is broke and the Strait of Hormuz is open. On sanctioning Chinese banks, he hinted without commenting or committing. The session ended at 1:33. In a White House statement titled "Never Surrender," the administration closed the book on Caroline Leavitt's run as the 36th press secretary, youngest ever to hold the job. She briefed the sticks one last time this morning. President Trump called her one of the best in the history of the office. And remember, she postponed her maternity leave after an assassination attempt targeting the president, and that's the tenure. Back at the pool at the stakeout location, a restricted group gathered for the departure. The motorcade reached the Ellipse at 2:58. President Trump walked straight to Marine One and lifted off at 3:03 without stopping for questions. The chopper circled the White House twice on the way out, the same move he's made before to look over the ballroom construction. Marine One touched down at Joint Base Andrews at 3:14, boarding Air Force One. The president at 3:19 gave the pool a thumbs up and said nothing. Isaacman, Stephen Cheung, Kevin Hassett, Michael Kratsios, and Natalie Harp were among those on board. Wheels up at 3:29, 2 hours and 40 minutes to Houston. The fact sheet the White House put out for the trip is for workers now pays zero federal income tax on qualifying overtime. About 4 million seniors pay nothing on Social Security. Average refund $4,344. Private crime down 13%. Arlington homicides cut 60%. 15 straight months with no illegal alien releases at the border, and July apprehensions down 94%. Texas gets $7 billion from the Border Security Fund, plus a water deal with Mexico, and a $750 million sterile fly facility to kill off the screwworm. So that's the day. A map redrawn, a trade opponent put on notice, a press secretary sent off with honors, and a state-by-state receipt for the promises he made. And when you win, you show the receipts. That's the latest from the White House.